We're now going to have a look at the posterior rectus of the glenohumeral joint and the infraspinatus tendon. Both can be seen through the same technique. So we're going to start off by placing our probe on the back of the shoulder, and we're looking to see this very distinctive round structure on the screen. Okay, that dome appearance of the posterior aspect of the humeral head. If I just bring my probe back slightly more medial there, you can see the deep recess at the back of the shoulder joint. You can see the posterior labrum, and if we come a little bit further posterior still, we'll see the sphenoglenoid notch. If we then rotate our probe further forwards again, we can see the humeral head, and we can follow this up a little bit more keflad, and we can see a thick band of articular cartilage sitting on the back of the humeral head. If we then roll our probe a little bit further superior, we can again then see the insertion of the infraspinatus tendon, and we can follow that all the way back round into its muscular tendinous junction at this point in a longitudinal view. We can also just turn our probe round slightly and have a look at that in a short axis view. So you can see here the tendon starting to form as we come more superior or keflad, as it starts to come in short axis to insert. We can then come back into long and see that insertion onto the back of the humeral head, and we can prove to ourselves that we're on infraspinatus by coming back out and following that tendon back out through the muscle belly there. And that's how you find not only the posterior rectus of the glenohumeral joint, which we can see here, but also how you see the infraspinatus tendon attaching onto the back of the humeral head, onto the greater tuberosity.